Okay, so we can see that convergence of perceptron learning is not possible for non-linearly separable data. Then there will be a solution weight vector in linearly separable case, whereas if the data is not linearly separable, you cannot draw a solution weight vector. So therefore, linearly non-separable problems, a straight line you cannot draw, optimum set of weight vectors that yield a low error solution can be obtained only for linear separable data, but here some error will be there and you can minimize that error. In perceptron learning, when you apply it for linearly separable data, you will not get any error, whereas when you apply for a non-linearly separable data, you will get an error, and that error should be minimized as less as possible. We should get the error. So for linearly separable problems, you studied perceptron learning algorithm, whereas here for non-linearly separable data, to address this issue, you don't have perceptron learning algorithm, but you have a general setting algorithm which you call it as pocket algorithm. Okay, so non-linearly separable data, you don't apply perceptron learning rule, whereas you apply pocket algorithm. Okay, so what happens is when learning, you may learn a better solution, and over time you may not have a, you may have a worse solution in iterations. So once you get a best solution, better solution, you have to save it and you have to see, observe for the next solution, and if that solution is good, if that solution is good, it is saved into the pocket or in a memory, it is saved, and that memory is called pocket. So when you classify, when you iterate the algorithm, when you derive the weight, you find out the weight in a iteration and store it in a pocket, and if that solution is seen in the next iteration, in the second iteration, if you get a better solution, you replace the stored solution. Otherwise, if you don't get a better solution than the previous solution, you will just ignore that solution, you won't store. Okay, and now you refer the page 2 of my notes. Pocket algorithm is given in detail. Okay, pocket algorithm step by step it is given. Okay, you can refer a adjusted non-linearly non-separable training set is there, which is called as x dash, which is the intersection of patterns belonging to two classes, x1 and x0, and x0 is weight adjusted. Actually x1 x0 is weight adjusted and it's made as x0 dash. Okay, and both x1 and x0 dash, they comprise the input weight vector in the pattern in n plus dimensional real space. Okay, and the algorithm, to start with the algorithm, the weights are initialized either to random numbers or to any zero values or small values, which is initialized weight vectors. Okay, then first solution we store it in the pocket, which you call it as w pocket, which is a memory. Okay, and then you can see iteration. It is same as perceptron learning, whereas some small changes are there. Okay, so you select a pattern at a random, compute the inner product of the pattern with the weight vector already available, and if that inner product is positive or greater than 0, if that weight inner product. Okay, all of you are able to listen or not? Whether my voice is audible? Can one of you chat and tell me?
Yes.
Audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, I will continue. Yeah, we were solving pocket algorithm. In the iterations, we'll choose one pattern at a random. We will choose one pattern at a random and we'll take the inner product between the pattern and the weight vector already learned in the previous iteration. And if that inner product is positive, we will not do anything. We'll just go to the next iteration. In case if the inner product is negative, in that case, we have to find a weight updation. In that case, previous solution is stored in pocket, new solution will derive it, new weight vector is equal to old weight vector plus eta into xk. Eta is the learning rate and xk is your pattern, input pattern. Okay. So in your perceptron learning algorithm also you are seeing the same equation, but here you are applying just to minimize the error, whereas in the perceptron learning you are having zero misclassification error, but here you are minimizing the error. Okay, this is pocket algorithm, formal statement of pocket algorithm. You can just see it. Okay. And as you saw in your previous algorithm, which is perceptron learning algorithm, you saw that the algorithm always converges. Okay. Same way here for non-linearly separable data, when you apply pocket algorithm, it always converges when a training set is finite. With a finite training set, the pocket algorithm always converges. You don't have proof for that. Proof is not included in the syllabus, but in a general setting, we can prove that also. Okay. So you don't have the proof for this pocket algorithm convergence theorem, but just statement is there. Pocket algorithm always converges when your training set is finite. Okay. Any doubts about pocket learning? Any doubts? You can just enable your who want to talk, you can just enable your audio and you can talk. All of you understood? Yeah, tell me. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Any doubts in pocket algorithm you want to discuss? Okay, we'll move to the next algorithm, which is called as alpha least mean square learning. Okay, can we move to the next algorithm? Okay, we'll move to alpha least mean square algorithm. Okay, so in perceptron learning, objective was to achieve linear separation between two classes or between the convex hulls of two classes. Okay, now here in your perceptron learning or your pocket algorithm, the desired output is a binary quantity. Desired output can be 1 or 0 or -1 or +1. If your desired output is binary like 0 and 1, then your dk and sk, they belong to a binary set 0 and 1. Suppose instead of 0, if you can consider sk as -1 and +1, two classes, so set has two values, either 0 1 or -1 and +1. Okay, now you saw that in a neural network, weights are multiplied with your input and then you are applying a threshold operation. If that threshold operation is a sigmoid or any binary threshold, you will have two levels. However, if you have instead of if you have instead of this sigmoid threshold, if you have linear threshold, what will happen is you can have a continuum of values in your dk. Sorry, sk. Okay, in sk and dk you can have continuum of values if your threshold function is linear. In that case, I have given here the training. Refer the page number 3 where training set is given by xk comma dk. Okay, and xk is the input, dk is the desired output. Now your xk belongs to n+1 dimensional real space. Okay, and same way your desired output belongs to one dimensional real space, not binary space, because we have continuum values here. Okay, so sk will be the inner product of your data with the weight vector, that is sk is equal to xk transpose wk. Okay, the error is defined as ek. What is error? Error is nothing but the difference between the desired output and the actual output of the data. Okay, so error is defined as the difference between the desired output and actual output. You may have two ways you can define. One is linear error, which is the direct difference, or you can have the squared error, which is dk minus sk whole square. Okay, in alpha least mean square learning algorithm, we'll see the linear error and we'll minimize that linear error by finding optimal weight vectors. Whereas in the next class we see MSE, mean squared error learning where we will minimize the squared error. However, in our current algorithm, that is alpha LMS algorithm, which is called as alpha least mean square learning, you minimize the difference between linear difference between the desired output and the network output. So linear error is given by EK is equal to DK minus SK, and SK is your network output, which is the inner product between the input and the weight vector. So EK will be DK minus XK transpose WK, which is equation 2. Now go to page number 4. Okay. Now here in alpha LMS algorithm, the objective is to minimize the error, which is EK over all patterns in the training set. Okay. Objective is to minimize the error over all training set, patterns in the training set, which can be represented. A small picture is given in page number 4 at the beginning. All inputs are connected to a neuron multiplied by weight vectors in between, and the output is nothing but directly the inner product between the input and the weight sequence. Okay. So here in alpha LMS algorithm, weight updation is given by the difference in weight is nothing but the product of learning rate, which is called as eta, then the error, which is EK, and normalized input XK by square norm square of XK. Okay. Am I audible? No, all of you? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So your weight difference in weight vector is nothing but your learning rate multiplied by error multiplied by normalized input, which is XK by squared norm of XK. Okay. So in LMS algorithm, the weight updation rule I give in equation 3 and equation 4. Now this can be slightly restructured. You can work out little bit. You can just this expression you can reorganize. You can write delta WK is equal to the learning rate as it is, you maintain eta, then EK divided by a norm of XK I will write, okay, and other then multiplied by XK by norm of XK. Can I organize like this the expression? I cannot work on the board and show you now, just refer the notes, but you logically derive from fourth equation and derive this delta WK expression. Okay, now let us go to page number 5. Page number 5 will go. There we can see this weight updation is nothing but eta by norm. Same equation I'll just reorganize. Eta by XK norm multiplied by error multiplied by XK cap. Yeah, XK cap. Cap means the unit vector. So you have studied in other subjects. Unit vector means nothing but the given vector divided by its norm. Okay. The given vector by its norm is nothing but unit vector. And unit vector has a magnitude of 1. Okay, maximum value of XK is XK. Divide by XK, you will have a value of maximum value is 1. Okay, so norm vector. Hello, any doubts you want to tell me? Okay, we'll continue. Your incremental weight vector is nothing but eta by norm of XK, which you can write it as eta cap. Cap indicates normalized weight vector. Sorry, normalized learning rate. Okay, eta cap is nothing but normalized learning rate multiplied by error, which is EK, multiplied by unit vector XK cap. Yes? Okay. Am I audible, right? All of you? Okay, most of I am audible, right? Most of you. Okay, I will just continue. Yeah, the incremental weight vector is given by eta cap EK into XK cap. Eta cap is nothing but the normalized learning rate. EK is the error. XK cap is nothing but the unit vector along the input direction XK. Okay. Now eta is the pattern normalized weight vector. Okay. Now we'll derive the change in the error EK. Delta EK is nothing but change in the error. Okay. So how you define change in the error? Previous error. Huh? Yes. Okay, I will continue. Change in error Yes, change in error is nothing but current error, which is dk minus sk plus 1 minus previous error, which is dk minus xk. Sorry, dk minus sk. Okay. Now this can be written as dk minus xk transpose multiplied by wk plus 1. Entire thing has to be multiplied with the previous error, which is dk minus xk transpose wk. Okay. Now this can be slightly reorganized, and you can approximate it to you can equate it to xk transpose into wk minus wk plus 1. A negative sign can be taken out, then you can write it as minus xk transpose wk plus 1 minus wk, which is xk transpose delta wk, change, incremental change in the weight vector, which is wk plus 1 minus wk, which is delta wk, and we'll denote it as equation number 6. Okay. Okay, now based on the change in the error, we have to compute change in the weight vector, which is given by delta wk, which is equal to wk plus 1 minus wk, which we can equate it from our previous expression as eta ek xk by norm of xk and its square. Okay. Okay, now based on this delta wk, we can write delta ek as, we can write that expression as, okay, based on delta ek we can write, based on delta wk we can write delta ek as minus xk transpose into the change in the weight, that is eta ek xk by xk norm square, which we can slightly reorganize. You have to work out little bit, you can just have to manipulate the variables, and finally you will get delta ek is equal to minus eta into ek. Delta ek is equal to minus eta into ek. Okay. Okay. What is the interpretation of this expression? Error correction, that is delta ek, is equal to a constant times error. Okay. So this means change in error is equal to a weight, a constant multiplied by error. That means error correction is proportional to the error itself. Okay, error correction is proportional to the error itself. Okay, this expression number 8 says change in error is nothing but minus eta times error. That means error correction is proportional to the error itself. Okay, and if your learning rate eta between 0 and 2, then the algorithm is stable. This can be proved, but the proof is not there in your syllabus. Okay, so the learning rate can be between 0 till 2. It cannot be exactly 0, then new learning cannot take place. It should be some positive value but less than 2 for the algorithm to be stable. Stable means your weight will not grow continuously. Currently you will have a weight of 0.1, next iteration you can have 0.3, next you may have 0.7, next you may have 1.3, and it will not grow continuously. Okay, weights will not grow continuously. Grow means they will get a larger value in subsequent iterations. Okay, that means if your learning rate is positive and less than 2, then your algorithm will be stable. If your learning rate is more than 2, then your weight vector values, that is wk1, will grow in its values, and finally you cannot handle that large number. Okay, to avoid that you have to fix your learning rate between 0 and 2. So new weight vector is equal to old weight vector plus the learning rate multiplied by your error multiplied by your input divided by squared norm of your input. Okay, so from this you can little reorganize. You can compute the error as dk minus sk. Sk is nothing but xk transpose wk, and you can just reorganize and you can get it. The new weight vector wk plus 1 is equal to old weight plus this quantity you can see in the page number 6. Okay, then you can continue this derivation. You can continue this derivation and you can get finally wk plus 1 is equal to wk plus learning rate multiplied by dk by norm of xk minus some quantity. You can just refer it. You can just reorganize your previous equation and you can get this current expression. Okay, finally this cap is nothing but unit vector. Okay, So the new weight vector is equal to old weight vector plus learning rate into normalized error multiplied by normalized input. Okay. Okay. Then finally you can derive it as eta cap ek xk cap. Okay. Now from this you can slightly reorganize. You can find out the incremental change in error. You can derive it. Okay. Yeah, fine. So new weight vector is equal to eta ek cap xk cap. Okay. Now based on this we can define our algorithm, which is called as alpha least mean squared algorithm. You refer your page number 7 where I have given the detailed algorithm. Okay. So what is given to us, what is the input for us in this algorithm is nothing but a training set comprising of n+1 dimensional input vector which spans n+1 dimensional real space and desired output which is a real quantity 1 dimensional. Okay, this is given to us and we have to initialize the weight vector either to 0 or some small random positive values. Okay, so weight is initialized which belongs to again n+1 dimensional real space. Now we'll, okay, this is initialization what given to us I told. Now we'll see iteration. You have to continuously iterate. Iteration means you have to repeat continuously. Okay, so select a given pattern from your training set, compute the inner product between the current weight and your inputs, then compute the error which is nothing but dk minus the output of previous stage which is xk transpose wk which is sk. Okay, so you computed the error, then based on this error you update the weight vector wk plus 1 is equal to wk plus the learning rate into the error multiplied by xk by norm of xk square. This is what we learned and derived a few time back. Okay, so new weight vector is nothing but old weight vector plus eta into ek xk by xk norm square. Okay, this is what we derived just now. Okay, so this is a formal algorithm and this we have to repeat until the average of the weight vector is over an epoch is less than the tolerance. We have defined a tolerance in the beginning, a small value, and the subsequent weight change from the current weight minus previous weight, and if this difference is less than your tolerance, then you stop the algorithm, otherwise you continue your iterations and go to the next step. Okay, and this algorithm converges in a finite number of steps. Okay, so this is our alpha LMS algorithm. Okay, so just tell me what we studied today. We saw perceptron learning algorithm for linearly separable sets. Then for linearly non-separable sets, we saw pocket algorithm, which is slightly incremental change in your perceptron algorithm. Slight change, not much. Structure is same as perceptron learning algorithm. You have a small changes there. Okay, little change you have in pocket algorithm. Then we studied alpha least mean square algorithm where we saw the linear error and we are optimizing this linear error to get the new weights, and with that we saw the update expression, weight update expression we saw, and we defined our alpha LMS algorithm systematically. Okay, what is given to us, what to initialize, how to iterate, all these things we studied. Okay, this is about your perceptron learning, then pocket algorithm and alpha LMS algorithm. Okay, and next class we'll study about your MSc mean squared error, how to define the mean squared error and update your weight vectors. That we'll study in the next class, where mean squared error algorithm will study. Okay, and all these algorithms are supervised algorithm. Why? Can anyone say why our pocket algorithm or alpha LMS algorithm is supervised algorithm? Okay, why we have our algorithm is supervised? Can anyone tell? Because dk is given at the beginning. Dk is nothing but desired output. When desired output is given, what happens? We have the knowledge of what we have to get at the end. Okay. So with respect to the desired output, we are optimizing our weight vectors and we are trying to minimize the difference between the desired output and the actual output. Okay, the desired output is nothing but a teaching learning element for us. It is like a teacher which will guide us. The actual output sk should be equal to dk or towards that. Okay, this error we are minimizing. So our teaching input is nothing but the desired error, sorry, desired output. Okay, based on the desired output we optimize. So we already have what is the output required, desired output. Therefore this algorithm is called supervised algorithm. Okay, next class what we study is your MSE error surface. That algorithm is also supervised algorithm. Okay, so what we have here is we studied pocket algorithm, then we also studied alpha LMS algorithm. Next class, mean squared error surface will study steepest descent search, and error backpropagation neural network algorithm will study. All these algorithms are nothing but supervised learning algorithms. Okay, if you have any doubts you can tell me, or you can just message me any difficulties you are facing. Internet may be poor at your place. That's the reason I didn't share the video or my screen. I didn't even show you the PPT. Just I want to see whether it works for today. Fine, then based on today's input we'll go further. Okay, hello. Yeah, any doubts you are having you can raise. You can just enable your audio and you can just tell one by one, not everyone together. Hello, how did you appreciate today's class? Can you just tell me? Can any one of you just tell me how did you appreciate today's class? Any connectivity issues or you couldn't hear properly? Hello? Yeah, anything you want to say you can tell. Next class we can use this.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please tell. I'm not able to listen. Please tell. Hello? Yeah, please tell. Yeah, please tell anything you want to share. Hello? Hello? I'm not able to listen anything from you. Yeah, tell me. Hello?
Hello,
I'm not
sir.
able. Yeah, I can listen. Yeah, please tell. Hello, please tell me.
Study health.
Yes, please tell me.
Challenge applied on the
Huh? Yeah, please tell me. I need your input. Yeah, tell me. How did you appreciate? Huh?
Sir,
Yes. Yes.
derivations could be
Avoided. No. Derivation could be.
uh, sir, without it was good, sir. Actually, if we have the derivations and all in beforehand, we could have understood more better. And I
Yeah.
mean, we are listening to the video audio, sir.
Okay.
So,
Okay. The derivation is
but
shared
it
actually
would
in Moodle.
nice, sir.
Okay, the derivation is just shared. The notes is shared in Moodle. Okay, you can just download and keep
second
with
module
you.
is not coming.
Huh?
Okay.
Hello?
The second module is not.
The video is already, sorry, the notes is already shared in which this derivation is there. And while starting while when you join the class, you can have your notes with you and you can read it. You can just compare what I say with that actually. I presume that you had notes. Many of you must have had, right, with you. Hello?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah, whatever, fine. Next class onwards, be ready with the notes with you. Okay, either soft copy or whatever. You can just refer that notes when I say. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, please tell me, Ashray. Yeah, Ashray, please tell me. Okay, can we continue in the next class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just tell me if you want to tell something. Otherwise, we'll connect back again tomorrow 10:30. Okay, half an hour to 35 minutes class we'll have. Half an hour to 35 minutes we can have, and with discussion 40 minutes class will have. This permits only 40 minutes. Zoom permits only up to 40 minutes. Actually, I wanted to take an hour. Okay, can we join back on the next class? You want to say something, you can just tell me. You are not audible to me. You are not audible. You can drop a message also. You are telling something and I am not receiving, I don't know. Okay, drop me the message. In WhatsApp, you just drop me a message and we'll continue the class from tomorrow. We'll continue the class tomorrow sharp at 10:30. Okay, be available and be ready with the notes. I will share it today evening. By today evening, I will share tomorrow's notes. You can just have and we can continue in the next class. Is that okay? Okay, let us join in the next class. Okay, see you. Let us join in the next class. You be ready
Yes,
with
sir.
the notes which I share by today evening. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Thank
See
you.
you. See you.
Thank
And
you.
okay, and work hard and study well all subjects equally and use these holidays very effectively as much well as possible.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. See you then. See you in the next class tomorrow at 10:30. I'll just wind up this session.
Okay, sir.
I will just end this meeting. We'll join tomorrow at 10:30. Okay. See you and have a good day.